What's up, Denek? I hope everyone can hear me reasonably, and that I'm also live, which I actually don't know, so I gotta check that out myself. Let's see. Kinda tired. Oh, sick. I'm live. Alright, cool. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another Rice Rants. You guys all know me. Here to rant about a bunch of stuff. But I'm pretty low energy actually, so I don't know how energetic I'm gonna be throughout this whole thing. Um, yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Hold on, I should probably tweet this too. I think I got like I had a tweet today, and let me do the math real fast. I like actually stole this picture too, but I tweeted today, and the tweet I tweeted got 362 likes and 136 retweets. And it's a picture that someone else posted in a Facebook group I'm in. I decided to tweet it, and boom, it blew up. So that's really funny. Yeah. See. Essentially, what we're going to be doing as I'm tweeting this out is I'm going to be recapping UGC and what went on, what it was like to be there, what it was like to work on the event, which was super interesting, and I learned a lot there, and kind of stressful too. Kind of recap all that stuff, um, and then just kind of roll from there. I guess is the best way to explain it. Uh, what's the word? Um, yeah. One sec. Sorry, I'm really kind of tired just because it's been such a long weekend, but I had a really fun time. Like, it was definitely a really entertaining time. Uh, Jeez, this video. I don't cut these, so it's gonna just have like a whole part of me just not talking, messing with my phone. My bad. Right, cool. There we go. Cool beans. All right, let's get started, I guess. So I guess I'm gonna go kind of tell the UGC stuff as a story because it's super interesting, like super duper interesting. So what ended up starting off was I heard about UGC. Originally, it was the day it was posted. So Matt.zeb posted a link on the MOAM Facebook group. So I got a notification, clicked on it. I saw it and then I was like, okay, that's a lot of money. Clicked on, like, went through the stuff and it was like, oh, it's St. Louis. And I was like, that can't be too far from me. Looked it up, 6 hour drive from where I live right now, and then I was like, I really have to go. Like, that's insane. And it already had like, I think it had like 10 or 15 big names confirmed for each game already. So I was like, everyone who's anyone's gonna go, that's a lot of money. So there's no way anyone's gonna pass up that kind of pot bonus. So I was like, sweet. And I ended up going and signing up day of, like the first day, like that it was posted. I was like, yeah, I'm signing up. Got a VIP pass, which was super sick. Here, I'm gonna show you guys my VIP pass. So like all the other passes are made of like paper, because it's cheap. I was like, it wasn't like super, it wasn't laminated or anything. It was just like literally, it felt like it's paper. It was kind of lame. But this one is metal. It was pretty sick, and it has my tag on it. and all that stuff. That was what you got for being a VIP, and it's supposed to give you like special access to stuff. And I don't know. Like I'll get to that. I'll get to that actually, because that's the whole thing too. So yeah, I told as many people as I could about it. That would want to go. Because I know it's kind of close to finals for a lot of people. So I ended up going, and I think was it my carpool was me, Muse, Turvis, Kaze, and Chuck Nasty, which is a fun carpool. We had a blast. The ride there was pretty entertaining. We left at like noonish. Actually, we ended up leaving I think about 2. We were supposed to leave at noon. We ended up leaving at like 2 on Thursday the first, which is yeah, that's bound to happen. So we got the road trip was fun, a lot of shenanigans. Ended up going by a place called this is called Candy Factory, but there was like 30 billboards back to back for this place. So we were like, okay, we have to stop here. Also, Scuttles, who's a TU smasher, who's from St. Louis, told me that I had to stop there. He told me it was on the way. After we saw the billboards, we're like, yeah, we got to stop there. And I got the best malted milk balls ever. They were delicious. Like 300,000 million times. That's not even a number. That's but that many times greater than Whoppers. Like, holy shit. That stuff was good. So I enjoyed that a lot. Like, it was cool. Everyone got something. They had like really insane fudge. Like I felt like I got diabetes just from eating it. Like just one bite into it, I felt like I had diabetes automatically. It was super sugary, super delicious. Um, so we stopped there. We got stuff. We came back, made it to our hotel, which I ended up getting a really cheap hotel planned out, which was nice. For 4, we had 8 people because we had another couple from the Norman area coming to us. So they had 3, we had 5, and then we split off into 4 and 4. And for 4 people to double room, it only cost after everybody together. It was like 65 bucks a person, and we were able to pay for everything, which is pretty sick because we were there for 4 nights. So that was super sick. We saved a lot of money. Um, yeah. So we ended up doing that. That was super fun. We got there, all the hotel stuff figured out, and then I went to like a meeting. I was supposed to have there's a volunteer meeting at 10. They opened the venue at like 8 for people who were volunteers to go there. I just had to text or call Matt.Zeb about it, and so I was like, okay. So I get there. Well, first we ate food. It was the first time I ate at White Castle, and also the last time I'm gonna eat at White Castle because I did it for Harold and Kumar. I did it for the experience. It's not very good, but I did it, and now I don't have to ever wonder like what does White Castle taste like. It's pretty disappointing, but I did it for the experience, and that's all that really matters. So took care of that. Got to the venue. Met Matt Dudzev for the first time in person. I've been talking to him for months about the melee games and also about this event because I was really excited for it. So that was cool. Um, Sat down there, met him, met Two Shades, who is the head melee TO for the Big House series since I think Big House 4. So he's been Big House 4, Big House, or not Big House 4, Big House 5, Big House 5 and 6, and yeah. So it was pretty awesome to meet those guys. I had a good time talking out with them. I learned a lot, saw a lot of what they were doing, saw the setup. It was really cool. Like it was a ton of fun hanging there, getting to just kind of pick their brains about stuff and seeing how they interacted with staff and made decisions. So that was neat. And it was kind of at that point that they decided, like, hey, for the most part, they wanted me to stay at the TO desk and just kind of see how everything was running. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. That sounds like a pretty cool thing to volunteer to do. And yeah, day one was, I mean, that was day zero. That was Thursday. So pretty chill. Hung out with them, kind of saw how they're setting up the venue, chilled out, had the volunteer meeting, met some people, and then went to what's it called, Steak and Shake with them, and then the UGC staff. So shouts to them, they're awesome. The UGC staff actually paid for my dinner. They paid for Matt and Gamera's dinner too. Matt and Two Shades, but then they were like paid for mine too. I didn't even know they were paying for me. I was just like, oh, that's super cool. Really nice of them. They asked me a lot of stuff about how I felt about the event and people coming and a lot of stuff because this is the first time they did Smash, so it was nice to just kind of be have my brain picked about it. It was cool. So that went down, and then I headed back, hung out with the other Oklahomies. So let me just off the Oklahomies who went. So, uh, in my carpool, I already said who was in that. The Norman area carpool was JD and Deezus and a guy named Deadman, who is actually from California, who was visiting JD and he wanted to hang out with JD and Travis this weekend. He's a friend of theirs from like the Alpha Red Discord server and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I played Overwatch with that dude before. He's cool as shit. So his name's Adrian. So that was the other carpool from the Norman area, and then there's another carpool on top of that that was Mooj, Quist, Lorenzo, Ultima, and then Hyper, aka Hertz, had gone there. He drove up there with family, and then Scuttles drove up there because he's from St. Louis, so he was staying at his family's house and hanging with his brother. And honorary Oklahoma was James, and James is that's actually his tag and his name. He's seventh on the New Jersey PR and number one on the South Jersey PR. He's just like a pretty solid tri-state area smasher. He's really cool and he's really good. He got 25th, no, 17th at Big House, and he's love that dude. He's super fucking cool. He's a Smash 4 player. So we had a lot of Smash 4 players and a couple melee guys, but mostly Smash 4. And it was tons of fun hanging out with everybody. So I went and hung out with the other guys until JD and Jesus and Deadman got there, so we could get the other hotel room and stuff set up. Then I slept. I said I could have been there at 8 a.m. I ended up oversleeping because I was super tired from just all the travel. I ended up getting to the venue at 10. Yeah, and kind of immediately, as soon as I got to the venue, was put to work taking registrations for low tier and crews and all kinds of stuff. So that's fine, and I was taking cash and stuff and like doing all that, and got that mostly figured out at the door. Once we started, what's it called, low tier tourneys. Two Shades asked me to come inside to sit at the TO desk. And here's kind of where the weekend started getting really stressful was Two Shades and Matt decided they wanted to play in the low tier event, and I was like, that's fine, who gives a crap. They wanted to also stream all of the low tier event, and they made it best of 5 for some reason, and that got kind of stressful because at the time I didn't feel like I was gonna call any shots because I'm just a volunteer, but they quickly realized that low tiers games take a long time if you're both playing low tiers because your characters aren't very good. So melee low tiers are really don't have anything going for them, and when they fight each other, it takes forever. I learned this the hard way when I did a low tier bracket once, and best of fives are awful for when you're running low tier stuff because a lot of matchups can become polar when you have like stage advantage. So a lot of things went to game 5, and a lot of players weren't good either. So it was bad. It was real bad trying to organize that and get it all streamed. The good news is, eventually, they understood that they made a mistake. They left everything best of 5, sadly, but because you can't go back on that. But they were able to, work around getting stuff off stream instead. But that was pretty sick because Axe's Young Link is godlike, and he destroyed Nun and Drugged Fox's Ganondorfs. Like, the dwarfs had no chance against Axe's Young Link, which is awesome. So I definitely thought that was really entertaining and hella cool. Very rare you get to see shit like that happen in big tournaments. So that was nice. And then on the Wii U side, low tiers is like the Oklahoma game. So Chuck got to play his main, and Muse got to play one of his favorite secondaries, Zelda. Kaze got to play his main. Lorenzo got to play his OG main. Like, people just played like characters that they used to. That went really well. And right out the gate, it was super early. I think this is like round 2 or round 3 because there was a problem with the Smash GG system. So I put people into brackets and stuff, but they didn't get assigned to the bracket. So like we took their money and it says they're registered, but it didn't assign them to the bracket. So what ended up happening was a lot of people who wanted to be in the Wii U low tier didn't make it. And it was like, what? It was baffling. It was super uncool. Like, it was really sad. So we had to figure out what to do. And Vaseth, who was the secondary WTO, which Bear didn't get there till Saturday. So Vaseth pretty much had to take care of a bunch of the crap on his own there. So Vaseth actually had to reseed everything, put it in challenge until we could fix the problem later on, and it was a mess. But what ended up happening is Chuck had to play Abadango, I think, round two of winners, and they played on stream, of course. And then Chuck straight up 2-0'd Abadango's Pac-Man with Charizard, and that was freaking amazing. Because Chuck had talked about it the day before when we were talking about low tiers, and he said he doesn't think he could beat Pac-Man, and then he just straight up destroyed that guy. He ended up getting double eliminated by Chuck ended up getting double eliminated by Zaga, which is a St. Louis area puff main, or like not even St. Louis. He's from that area of the Midwest, but he's a puff main, and he just kind of kept getting rests on Chuck, and like he just kept like just making Chuck fall for stuff. It was good. Zaga knew how to play the matchup. Definitely a hard matchup. But it was pretty sick when Chuck had destroyed Abadongo, and he like beat a bunch of other people, but they were playing low tiers. Like he beat Mars and like a few others. And then Shay Muse did the same thing. Muse ended up also playing Dabadongo, and he's the one who kicked out eliminated Dabadongo and losers. And then Shay and Chuck played, and Chuck beat Shay's Zelda. Happened before. So Muse got 7th, Kaze got 9th, and Chuck got 5th. And Chuck got paid for that, so that was pretty entertaining. So that was sick. See stuff like that. Low tiers for Wii U is really way more interesting because a lot of the characters are like viable if they're not playing against top tiers. So and then they're not. It's not like Melee where they're like slow matches. They're still like there's the normal pace of matches, which is nice for the most part. So that worked out. Trying to think. And then our honorary Oklahoma James, who's staying in the hotel room with the guys, he ended up getting second, losing to Nairo. So he had eliminated by Nairo, and he also double eliminated Kameme. So shoutouts to him. He did amazing in low tiers. He got second. So and he played Charizard the whole time too, which is sick, super sick. James's Charizard is actually real, so it was super impressive. But I was pretty much running brackets the whole time during all this, and then also on top of that, I had to run the crew battle bracket, which was a whole mess. People wanted to play, then they didn't want to play, then they wanted to play, and people bouncing back and forth about who they wanted on their teams and like what team they were going to be on, and it was a lot of work. And then it turned out like I was taking all the money, and then at one point I thought I lost someone's money because I was short 25, and then I thought a team didn't pay me, and then the guy was like, no, I definitely paid you, and that's when I knew I messed up, and I was like, oh my god, I'm kind of worried. Ended up working out just fine, so not a big deal. um that was pretty neat. I didn't have to do any of the Wii U stuff on that Wii U stuff for that because Vaseth took care of all that. I took care of everything up to that point, but Vaseth took care of that part for Wii U. So I was just taking care of the Melee stuff because once again, Matt and Two Shades wanted to play. So I actually ended up also seeding the bracket and stuff. So I ran that. That was all streamed. It was super fun. Didn't take too long. So some pretty cool stuff. Drug Fox 20 stocked one of the crews, which is hilarious. It's super funny. Straight up took 20 stocks. Gosh. He only lost one. He traded 20 for one. Like it was rough, but it was cool. The Wii U one was pretty hype. Like it was neat. And the best part of all of that was I actually got Mitu King to pay for a tournament out of his own pocket, which was crazy to me. Because essentially what happened was Homemade Waffles and Phil wanted to play in Cruise. So those guys, S2J, and Hungry Box, I think somehow got on the crew, and one other person. I can't remember who the other person. Oh, Quinn. Okay, yeah, this is how this happened. So Homemade Waffles and Phil and S2J wanted to make a crew. They came up to me and they're like, "Okay, we have three," and I'm like, you got time. Go find two more." And Homemade Waffles was running around the venue trying to find someone to be on his crew. And at the time, all day Friday, this kid Quinn was grinding the ladder, which I'll explain the ladder another time. But he's just like grinding up on the ladder, and his rank is super high. He's the highest kid on the highest guy on the ladder. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool, you know. I'm like looking at the ladder stuff, and then let's see. I'm actually gonna pull up the ladder when I'm talking about this because this is fucking sick. So yeah, so ladder shows up, and here you go. Quinn's actually stayed number one on the ladder, which is hella impressive. But yeah, so what Quinn did was he just went up and he's like, "Hey, I was number one on the ladder," and then Homie Waffles is like, "I like it," so he caught that guy, and then Hungry Box somehow agreed to help play too. And here's how the rest of this goes down. So then Homie Waffles and Phil were actually supposed to commentate during cruise. They were flown out specifically to commentate. So they were like, "We can't. Oh shoot, we can't do this." So what did they do? They end up going, "Wait a minute." Axe and Prince Abu wanted to be on a crew. Let's just go get them to pay $5, and then we'll just give back our money. And it's like, yeah, that seems reasonable. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I can take care of that. So I gave Phil and Homie Waffles their money back. And they were the ones who I thought didn't pay me, but I found their money. I put it in the wrong pocket. It's all good. My bad, guys. Seriously, I felt bad, really bad about that because I thought they hadn't paid me. And then when I asked them about it, he was like, "No, I paid you." And then I was like, "I fucked up somewhere." I figured it out. It was all good. And so I go back over to Abu and Axe, and I'm like, "Hey, so this is the situation. Are you guys down?" And then they're like, "Yeah, we'll play." And then I was like, "Sweet." And but then S2J comes up to me and goes, "Hey, hold on. I don't want to play on this crew because I want to play on a crew with friends and homies and stuff. So I was only going to be able to fill in Homemade Waffles were going to be on the crew." And I go, "Oh crap, okay." So he goes, "Yeah, can I just get my money back?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." Because Mewtwo King also wanted to be on a crew, so I went back to Axe and Abu and I was like, "Hey, you have one empty spot. I know Mewtwo King wanted to play on a crew," and they're like, "If you can go ask Mewtwo King and convince him, we'll play." And I said, "Okay." I go over to Mewtwo King, and he's playing Smash 4 friendlies with Larry Lur. And I wait till one of his games over, and I go, "Hey, Mewtwo King, real fast." And he goes, "Yeah, what's up?" And I go, "Okay." So I was trying to explain the crew situation to him, and then he just goes, "I'm on Prince Abu's crew." I said, "Yes, yes, you are. I'm not going to go through a complicated explanation. He wants to be on Prince Abu's crew. We got it. Sweet." We're like, "Yep, you're on Abu's crew. I need $5." And he looks at me like with that look that Mewtwo King gives when you ask him for money, which is, I don't know how to explain it, but you know when you see it. And I go, "Yeah, it's the entry cost." And then Mewtwo King looks at me and he just kind of goes, "Okay." And he puts his hand in his pocket, and I know I'm just like he's gonna plot nothing or be like, "Oh, I don't have my wallet," or like any other million excuses he's used before. But then what ends up happening is he actually pulls out a $5. He finds a $5 bill in his pocket. He goes, "Oh, cool," and he gives me $5. And I just about fucking lost it because I think that was a Christmas miracle. I think it's the first time that a non-top TO, like non-super well-known TO, got someone to pay. He's got Mewtwo King, not someone, Mewtwo King, to actually straight up pay to enter something. So I was mind blown at that concept. Went back to Abu and Axe and told them what happened. And then Prince Abu turns and looks at me and goes, "I didn't think you were actually going to get the $5. Holy crap." And I go, "Yeah, me neither." They gave me the money, got the crew settled, ran the bracket, everything ended up fine, paid them out, everything was fine. So yeah, that was super cool. One thing that happened that a lot of people may not know, so for Wii U, like I said, the two TOs were Bear and Vaseth. Bear wasn't getting in until Saturday. Vaseth got in at like midnight on Thursday. So yeah, and then I went up and I was like, "Okay." I actually ran into him in the hotel when I was going to hang out with the other guys too. So yeah, but there's Vaseth, and he shows up on Friday morning to set up the Wii U's, and the Wii U's don't have DLC. And the UGC guys were told that they could use an SD card with a hack to get all the DLC, and it didn't work. So that was bad. And then the adapters they got a bunch of adapters for super cheap, for off-brand, and they were not good adapters. The ports were too small, so the controller couldn't go in all the way, and you couldn't plug the controller in all the way, and it still kind of worked, but there was latency because of it. So none of those setups could be used, and that was all of the Wii U setups they had, outside of I think 6. They had 6 setups that they could use. So that was a huge issue. So like I said, I got there on Friday, and saw this issue coming up, and I said, hey, I have a setup in my I have syrup had it set up in my hotel room, and I was like, how about I just get the setup from my hotel room and we can use it? And they were like, oh, yeah, that works. And then so I told all the guys, hey, you gotta set up in the hotel room, bring it. They have monitors here. So everyone started bringing setups. People were checking in with me, and I told them, hey, if you have a setup, please bring it, and all this stuff. And people were just like, oh yeah, cool. And they wanted to offer an incentive, which I don't even know if people got the incentive they were offered, but didn't really matter because everyone was bringing setups anyways because they just want to play. They want to play with people, so it's not a big deal. We're the Smash community. We bring setups to everything. So we had a bunch of setups brought in, and we ended up being able to run low tiers efficiently and running crews efficiently and all that stuff, and have friendly setups, and it was solid. It was okay. And then they called Gaming Generations, so shoutouts to them because they're awesome. And they drove 6 hours and got there at 10 p.m. on Friday with 32 setups that we could use for the tournament. So that was fantastic, and they pretty much saved the tourney. So we didn't actually get the do Smash 4 ladder on that Friday, which was unfortunate because ladder time got cut down hella hard. But what we did get to do was enjoy the other stuff that we had for day 1, so it worked out. And I guess I really haven't explained what ladder is, and I didn't realize this is 30 minutes in. I haven't even explained what the ladder is. Like I said, it's gonna be a really long stream. So if you have other stuff to do, feel free to peace out. I'm not gonna blame you. So yeah, 20 people watching, hell yeah. Shouts to you guys. Dang, I did not think I'd have 20 people watching right now. That's pretty sick. So yeah. That's kind of how day 1 ended. So I'm gonna explain ladders, and ladders are probably one of the coolest things to have happened to Smash tournaments. And this is how this goes down. So let me pull up the Smash 4 ladder. Let's do standing. I think James. Yeah, here's James. James just got first on this ladder. He and then Mies got second, and Mooch got third. There are only 62 people. Oh man, that's actually super fucking hilarious. I forgot that these guys got top 3 on the ladder. We were talking about this the night before and everything. And I think Darn's top 10 on the ladder or something right here. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Oklahoma representing. That's super funny. But yeah, let me see how people are on the melee ladder. So the way the melee ladder works, so imagine Anthers in real life is the base, the simplest way to explain. So you went to these URLs right here. And it says right here, it says matchmaking is currently offline. Well, normally, okay, when it's online and you're logged into your account, here's your rank and whatever. I actually didn't play anything on the ladder. You click and you queue, and it gives you a queue time. And what it does is it queues you up and then gives you an opponent. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna queue right now, and boom, I have Mewtwo King. That was just an example. So it's like my queue says I have to play Mewtwo King. So I go to the TO desk, and I hit the check-in button. And if my opponent also goes to the TO desk and has the check-in button on their phone, it's all on your phone. So you pull this up on your phone, and then you go, I'm at the TO desk. Check in. It's underneath it. They do the same. You guys see each other, and you go, okay, cool. Let's go find. And there's like a set number of setups there for ladder. Let's go play a match. You play 2 out of 3. Then you guys come back, and there's a computer, and then you report. It has all the like matches that are going on like currently. Boom, report your match. Sick. Now it says, let's say I beat Mewtwo King. Yeah, I know. My rank here would go up 1 star, and his would go down 1 star, and stuff like that. And you just keep doing that, and you keep doing more and more matches, and then you grind, and you get to like the top of the top, which is the Hall of Fame, which is the highest ranking. So if you look at the standings, Hall of Fame is the highest, All Star is the second highest, and there's Pro, Rookie, and I think Prospect. And you just kind of grind XP, and just kind of you see like Rookie 1 star, Rookie 2 star, 3 star. Once you hit 4, you go to Pro, Pro 1 star, Pro 2 star, Pro up to 5, whatever. And it's actually just super duper awesome, like super fun, super entertaining. The prizes were a ton of different stuff. Let me see. I know Mooj won something on the ladder. All these guys won stuff on the ladder. These top 3. So, there's not how it works. Where's the how it works button? Oh, there it is. Oh, they took out what the prizes were. They had them on there earlier. But essentially, the higher you went, you got cool stuff. So, number like Hall of Famers got free custom hoodies. All Stars got free custom T-shirts, and I think Pros got like a wristband or something. And all that stuff's gonna be mailed to them from Smash GG for participating and stuff. So that was super sick. Uh, and only 62 people did this Wii U because they couldn't even do it all day Friday. Like Friday, there was no ladder for them because they had to use all the setups for the other stuff. So, still super cool. Um, and I loved it. I loved the ladder. The ladder was so much better than amateur brackets. You know what I mean? Like, amateur brackets are cool. Like, don't get me wrong, and I'm always a big proponent of stuff like that, though. But oof, I just this idea is so sick, and the fact that you just like you can just grind and get better and stuff like that, and like the higher you go up on the ladder, the more like skilled opponents you'll find. Shit like that. That kind of stuff is fantastic to me. Um, like that's the best way to get friendlies in. I think at a tournament is you grind and you get to play people at your same skill level until you finally win, and then when you finally win, you get to go up, and you don't have to ask people to play you. Because if you look at like the Smash 4 ladder, like I said, the Smash 4 ladder, no one was really playing it because they didn't have time if they were top players because they didn't have Friday and other stuff. They didn't like go find stuff. But look, Kels and Mike Hayes and 4%. And I know you're thinking, who's 4%? 4% is the best player in Ohio. He's a Jigglypuff player and an actual old friend of Hazy Goose. You can ask Hazy for that story. It's really funny. Um, and so he's a good player. He's really good. He's like the third best. He's easily the third best Jigglypuff man in the United States. Probably fourth in the world because I think Tech is a little bit better. Then you got Mike Hayes. Mike Hayes is one of the best players in SoCal. Kels is the best player in Chicago. Like Quinn is actually from Chicago. Also, he's an up and comer who just won their Arcadian. Let's see. Trix is a really good player from Illinois. Rick is a really good player from Indiana. Matt.Zeb was a really good player from New England. Now he lives in NorCal. He's like still a pretty solid player. You got Vro, top Illinois player, like top Chicago area player. Knox, Photonic, Vista, like Nard Dog. Like these are just solid players. Webbs, the commentator, Webbs, who's really good. So Nuggets, Connecticut. Like you just got all these guys, like decent people. And you keep going down and you get like weaker level people, but you get to go through them. You get to spend time to play these guys. And it's always a serious set, so you don't have to sit there and just like grind friendlies with a good player. And then they decide to just play like Mario in like Melee for like an hour. Because that's cool, like it's a story, but you don't actually learn anything that you need. So, pretty cool stuff. It was really nice. I really loved this idea. Super duper awesome. So yeah, um, enough about ladders, because well, I can talk about ladders all day. So outside after ladder, we had on what was it? Day two. So we had that was day two was pools and doubles and stuff like that. And Oklahoma, I think Quist got like fourth or fifth in his pool. I think he got fifth. Scuttles got ninth in his pool. I know that for a fact. Mooj got like seventh in his pool. No, yeah, Mooj got like seventh in his pool, and like other people just got random placings. Chuck and James were the only people who made it out. Muse got fourth, and Deezus got fourth in their pools, respectively. Muse got double eliminated by MJG, and I actually don't remember who Deezus lost to. But so Chuck's pool had Swix 6WX, and he didn't show up. So yeah, yeah. So Chuck kind of just got to get second seed for free. Played Mars and it was not. It was pretty ugly. His set with Mars was pretty rough, but he still kind of he still got away with it pretty good. So that was neat, I guess, for Chuck. And then James ended up getting third seed. He was seeded third in his pool. And he got third seed in. Both ended up losing and getting tied for 33rd on day three, which is pretty disappointing overall, but it happens. Like, this is a really stacked event, so not unheard of. Also, I realized I never finished. Can I even do this right now? Okay, actually, yeah. Sorry, I just realized I never finished the melee crew battle bracket out, so I'm gonna fix that. That's like a really weird detail for me to have missed, but here you guys go, man. Oh shoot, this is the wrong tournament. Do I have access to this anymore? Oh, I don't. It's passed. Alright, I can't fix it. Rip Aroni. Whatever, it's not a huge deal. So, yeah. I'm trying to find Wii U pools. Cause no one got far in doubles either. Like, everyone just kind of got pooped on. I'm sorry. Sorry to anyone that offends, but yeah, you guys definitely didn't do super great stuff. Just saying. Here let's see. Hyper, yeah. Hyper had a hella tough pool. I feel bad. He got super fucked over. Also, this is hilarious. So Quilly is a Bowser man, and he beat Makibus 2-0. The Makibus played Hyper, and Hyper beat him. And Makibus is one of the few players from Arkansas that haven't played Hypers. That's super hilarious. Yeah, Hyper loses to Ned, and who else did he lose to? I actually don't remember. An Ally. So yeah, sucks. Rough pool. Not much you can really do about that. Muse ended up losing to MJG twice, right? Yeah, MJG here, MJG here. Let's see. Yeah, get 2-0 by MJG and then lose game 5 to MJG. Kind of rough there. What else we got? I'm really looking for Jesus's pool. That's the one that was like I'd like to actually didn't know because he didn't really tell me what happened. He just basically told me he got fourth in his pool. Fuck. Let's see. Dang, this is really hard to find. Just like reading through names. I'm pretty lazy. Could just use the player search function, but I've gotten too far now, so can't really. Oh, here it is. Oh, I remember why. So Deedus lost to Pink Fresh, which is fair. Then he lost to Phi, and Deedus got really mad that he lost to Phi. He says Phi's not very good. So yeah. Um, Unfortunate for Deedus. He was really upset about that loss too. But yeah. So that's kind of how everybody ended up doing day one. The only people who made it for James and Chuck, and then James and Chuck, well, they they ended up getting losing round one, which is unfortunate also. So, rip James and Chuck, but that's life. Um, yeah, and then I guess to recap the rest of day two, because I really don't want to like. I was really stressed out because what ended up happening was I was supposed to just be a pool captain for Wii U, all of day two. That was what I was scheduled and stuff for because they needed people for Wii U, and Matt was like, "Hey, you can do either," and I said, "Yeah, I really don't care." That was my job. I wasn't really worried about it. I got there, and then pretty much Warren, aka Blind, he works for Unrivaled Tournaments, and like Vaseth and Two Shades, and everybody was like, "Hey, we need you to do something else." And I was like, "That's I really don't care. I'm a volunteer. What am I supposed to do?" They made me in charge of the stream queue for the UGC main stream, which seems like a lot of responsibility, and it kind of was, but it also kind of was a downer because I couldn't leave the TO desk. I had to sit at the TO desk, and they were sending player pool captains. We're supposed to coordinate with a guy who was supposed to determine whether matches were supposed to be on stream or not, who was walking around the pools, and he was supposed to send them to me if they should be on the main stream. And then I was like, "Alright, that's cool," and just waves and waves of players coming to me wanting to play on stream, and the stream queue gets backed up because matches take a while. Because some matchups made it to stream because it's like, oh, it's two top players, but it's like shoot at and duck. That's a good matchup. It's cool. It also takes 40 minutes to stream because it goes to game 5 and it's a Samus Ice Climbers match. So that was rough. And then everything gets caught behind because matches aren't done yet. So I have to like try to backtrack and it's a lot of work and I was there from 10 a.m. till oh jeez. I want to say 7. Yep, 10 to 7 I basically was only doing this stream queue stuff. It was terrible. I had top players just kind of come up to me, not understanding what they were supposed to do because this is the first tournament that they had been to for melee at least. Because I was all on the melee side of this, because they had never been told to do stuff like this, and then matches were getting queued for like 2 sets like 2 or 3 sets in advance. So it's like thing on stream, second one, this one, and then we still had another match queued up. Like you can't even see it on the camera. That's how far out it is. We had like 4 matches. We had the current match and then 3 extra, and it's like we had 2 streams and we still were backed up, and it was still really hard to run everything in a timely manner. And a lot of loser semis couldn't get BO'd on any of the streams. A lot of top players were getting really frustrated because of how long they had to wait to play winners finals. It was and I felt bad because I had no direction in all this since Two Shades and Matt entered, and a lot of the melee volunteers didn't actually show up, which was really messed up. So we were understaffed, and then I basically had to pick up everyone's slack at the desk, and Matt and Two Shades had to TO their like pool captain their pools while playing, which people didn't want, which they wanted to avoid that scenario if at all possible, but it just kind of happened, and we had to do that for several other pools. So, it was rough. It was definitely rough. I got like really grumpy. Like, oh man, I was super like tilted and being like shitty to people after a while because I was done. I just couldn't handle it. Um, like a few top players like really pissed me off too. So I just really just couldn't handle that kind of stuff. I got chewed out because of Mango, so me and Mango are finally even for the whole autograph thing. So whatever, that's one thing. For those of you that don't know the story, at Clutch City Clash, after Mango got double eliminated, I stopped him from leaving real fast to get an autograph, and I tried to be really clandestine about it. And when I turned around, fucking, there was like a line of 20 people that had formed. because they saw Mango signing my thing, and like literally it took Mango like maybe 10 seconds to sign my thing, like my little pass, and I was like, what the fuck? And he was like hella depressed, so he had to stay there. But then Mango got me in trouble because he was let's just say he was not in his best shape, and he was listening to music really loud on his headphones, and he's like wandering around the venue, and I was like trying to get his attention. I can't leave the desk because no one else is there, so I'm like yelling into the mic trying to get his attention. I have like a huge speaker next to me too, like it's loud as fuck, and he's just kind of like ignoring me because I need him to play a match, and he just wouldn't stop wandering. So that kind of went down that way, and then he ended up not being on the mainstream because the mainstream got too plugged up to do that, and then some of the UGC people were not happy about that because they paid for Mango to be there, so they wanted him to be on their stream. And it was like, yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything about that anymore. So they kind of waited till it was already on the other stream to tell me this too. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, that went down like that. So it was kind of rough, and I was really frustrated. And then 7 p.m. rolled around, and here's the dumbest thing. Okay, for the most part, the tournament ideas were good. Like I liked all this stuff except for one thing. So 7 o'clock rolls around. I promised I would stay there till 10, so I was there from 10 to 10, 12 hours. That was the deal. Um, and now they did amateur bracket kind of deals for this event. So if you got ninth in your pool, which fun fact, if you went 0 and 2 in Wii U, outside of like three pools, everyone who went 0 and 2 got ninth. There was like three pools that had like 13 people in it, or four pools that 13 people in it. So there's like three or four people who didn't get to play in any of these brackets. It was really funny. So yeah. So if you went, they were the guys who went 0-2. So if you got ninth, you got put in the Buster bracket. Seventh was the amateur bracket. Fifth and fourth was the intermediate bracket. So fifth and fourth was supposed to be the higher level, like you just barely missed bracket. Seventh was amateur, like you're actually amateurish bracket. Buster was like you either did super bad and you got ninth for some fucking reason, or you actually aren't good. And these are the things. The problem is, so if you do the math, three people get fourth and fifth. So that's three people. So that's 48. That's 48-man bracket, which is equal to the day two bracket, which is kind of like kind of big already. That's kind of weird. That's kind of unnecessary. Um, so there's that. Then you have the seventh place amateur. That's 32. That's two per pool. That's only 32. That's small. That's not that bad. Then you had Buster, which is ninth. Ninth, which you get four people who get ninth per pool. So that's 64-man bracket. And I was, guess what, put in charge of Melee Buster for some reason, because I guess Matt knew I could handle that many people, because he had confidence in me. But at that point, I was so done that I was like, holy crap, I want to punch someone. I had to run a 64-man bracket after doing all this stream shit for 9 hours. And I had to run a 64-man bracket right after. And I had no voice because I'd been yelling and stuff for like to get players' attentions and communicating all day. And I was like, holy shit. And I was super tilted. And Hylian, shouts to Hylian, who's a super homie. He actually ended up getting ninth in his pool because he like hadn't played in a few months and he busted out hella hard. So he was in my bracket and he helped me out. Same with Scuttles. And another TO whose tag was oh shit. I'll look it up. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a shout out. But yeah, so these are the oh no, 300. So yeah, these are those three guys helped me out a crap ton to run this. They were also all in it, but they all helped out, and I ended up getting it done by like 10:30, 10:40 ish, because I had to do best of fives for top eight, which I didn't think was necessary, and it was double elim, which I also think wasn't necessary. I was really upset that I had to do this at the time. I got it done, and it wasn't until like losers finals or losers semis that I found out there was gonna be a prize. Because originally there was no prize, so I was very upfront with people about it, and a lot of people just didn't show and dropped out and all that kind of stuff, and it cut down my numbers a lot. But at the end of it, they ended up doing a Smash UG custom shirt because of it. So they ended up getting a prize, and Mooj won the amateur for Wii U. I remember this very vividly because Mooj won 2 free T-shirts this weekend, which is pretty hilarious. So that was cool. And then so that went down like that. And then day 3 was really not that bad. It was a lot of just coordinating stream time and tracking down top players. So after like a day and a half of them seeing me, they kind of knew that I was with the oh, I'm sorry, it was UGC shirt. But yeah, um, what's it called? But yeah, oh wait, they did give you a shirt for setup day 1. Okay, so Muj actually told me, yeah. Okay, because I was told they would give out shirts for people who brought that was the incentive, and I didn't know if they'd actually do it. But apparently Muji got his shirt, so cool beans. That's really sick. Um, that's pretty nice. Either way, fuck, that's actually really awesome. I'm happy. Good job, Muj. You got 3 T-shirts. You spent like $150 and got 3 shirts. Let's go. It was worth the experience. Either way, yeah. What's the word? But yeah, so day 3 was easy. So players finally knew me more or less, what I looked like. At least they knew that I was at the desk because I was at the desk all day the day before. So they respected what I was telling them, and there's a lot of just coordinating with other players or other TOs or volunteers. So I was a volunteer technically still, and so was another guy, Robotic Fish. So through 2 of us, we're coordinating with Mad Dog Zeb and 2 Shades, and we're just getting everybody wrangled up, and it was good. It worked out really well. Um, I had a good time with it, and we queued everybody for stream properly. Uh, we sent information. Oh yeah. So I also had to plug in all the fucking brackets from pools so we could even do amateur brackets and bullshit on day 1, day 2. I forgot about that. I was really salty about that too. But day 3 was nice. It was work. Like, it was hard work, but it was not me being cooped up hard work. It was walking around the venue, talking to people, and getting things figured out. So that was nice. I was pretty fucking tired by the time we started top 8. So as soon as that happened, my job was done. So I just kind of like chilled and relaxed, and yeah, that was it. And then top 8 for both games was sick. Top 4 for doubles was sick. Meets King took a set off on Murata and Grands and almost beat him, which is awesome because the Meets King has not done well and had an amazing losers run too. Like, just Mewtwo King played super well, which is cool. It hasn't happened in a long time. Freaking Esam played super well, which is cool because a lot of people have been giving Esam a lot of crap recently, and he finally was it's like boom, 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 taking all these top players out, which is sick. He got third. Just seeing these top players in person was cool. I got to see some top players I hadn't seen in a while, like Axe, and a few others. So it was cool. Like, I don't know. It was definitely a lot of fun. I had a great time. It was a lot of work, like so much work, but just yeah, like super fun. I met like pretty much every big name melee player at one point or another that was there. I have like an okay anecdote for each one, which is also kind of fun. I'm now like the world's biggest Kid Boogie fan because he's the nicest dude in the entire world. So I don't care if he wobbles people. I'm gonna cheer my heart out every time he does because that dude's the best. So official statement there. 4% is a homie, like a super homie. Definitely enjoyed hanging out and talking to him. There was like S2J and Shroomed, which I have a great story about S2J and Shroomed after day 3. Because when Grands ended, it was Quist was like, "Let's go to Denny's," and I was like, "Where's Denny's? I don't even know where the Denny's is." And he's just like, "I saw it, it's nearby." So I was like, "Cool. We'll go to Denny's, right? No problem." So we left the venue. Finally left the venue. We left the venue kind of late, and we walked up to the hotel room to see if anybody wanted to go to Denny's and see what would drive us because it was across the highway. Everyone was like, "Nah, fam." So I looked it up on my phone. It's like a 20-minute walk. I was like, "Who cares, dude? It's 20 minutes. Let's just walk. It's not a big deal." Everyone's like, "Okay, it's not that cold." We walk outside. I start walking towards the Denny's, and we're just like laughing and like shooting the shit, and we're just like happy because it was one of the greatest top eights we'd seen in a while. Like it was an amazing grand final set for Melee. Like we're just happy. It's me, Ultima, Turvis, Lorenzo. No, not Lorenzo. Sorry, Mooj. No wait, hold on. No wait, was it Lorenzo? No, it was Lorenzo, not Mooj. Sorry, Lorenzo and Quist, and we're just like goofing around, like whatever, just having a good time. And then I see Shroomed and SJ kind of walking up towards us, and I was like, "Yo, hey, how's it going, guys? Good stuff today." And then they're just like, "Nah, we play that crap." Like they're salty, and I'm like, "But you guys made money." And then they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Dude, it paid out to top 16." He's like, "13th gets money." I'm like, "Yeah, you get like a little over 100 ish." And then ninth got like 200 ish. And then they're like popping off, and they also teamed. They got fifth in doubles, which is more money. So they made some money. So like kind of popping off. They're like, all right, yeah, let's do this. We got some money. Like STJ's like, yes, and then Shroom's like, I'm still salty though that I lost. And I'm like, that's fair. And they're like, what are you guys doing out here? And they were like, oh, we're just gonna walk to Denny's. And then STJ's like, where's Denny's? And I go, it's over there, man. And we point to the Denny's sign. He's like, isn't that across the highway? And we're like, yeah. He just kind of looks at us like we're crazy. He's like, don't die. And I'm like, all right, we'll try. And then Shroom's like, I need to get to the venue. And I'm like, hey, do you guys want to go with us? He's like, nah, we're okay. But I really got to get to the venue. I left my luggage in there. And I was like, oh shit. So he looks at me and goes, where's the venue? To put it in perspective, there was a ring of hotels around the venue, and every hotel was like less than 2 minutes walk. So it's in the center. So we're actually he's talking to me, facing me, I like here, and I'm facing him, and behind him is the hotel, like the venue, the whole venue thing. And then I kind of looked at him, and I was like, it's like that thing behind you. And he turns around and he goes, oh, alright, cool. And I start kind of laughing, and he goes, yo, listen, I don't have my glasses on. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I'm an X-Man right now. And that's when I got really confused. And I was like, what's an X-Man? What do you mean? And he looks at us and he goes, it's my code for when I'm crossfaded. And then we started laughing so hard. Him and STJ were just super duper crossfaded, and they were just like stopped in the middle of the road to talk to two random to talk to a group of random guys they don't know. I mean, like they had seen me, but they didn't know me at all. So it was super duper funny. Like I thought it was hilarious. So um yeah, no, it was God, it was super funny. I had a blast with the whole situation. Like definitely thought that it was it was great. Um and super funny. And then just like other pros like Drug Fox, Esam told me Drug Fox is super nice, and he actually is super duper nice. Like really cool guy. Same with Ice. Ice is incredibly nice. Um like fantastically nice. I really enjoyed talking to him. Like we kind of had a thing where we had to wait for like an hour to play a set, but he was super nice about it. And I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm really sorry about this." And I mean, I really think this happened. He goes, "No, it's not your fault. Like I understand. It's fine." And he was like super nice and played his set and got us food, and it was just cool. Everybody was for the most part, everybody was pretty cool. Leffen not so much, but you know, it's not a huge deal. Whatever. It was a good time. It was super duper fun. And just I have so many like random anecdotes for top players that I met. Like I'm not gonna tell them all on stream. That's just one I really wanted to talk about because like it was great. And when we got to the Denny's, I made sure to take a picture of us and sent it to and tweeted it at them and let them know we made it there alive. And this morning they liked the tweet. Um. So yeah. All right. If you're gonna say that, I'm gonna explain the Leffen thing. So it was during doubles, and Leffen and Ice were queued to play on stream. So they came up to talk to me to get queued on stream, but they didn't know the system at all, and they didn't ask really at all. So then Leffen and Ice just walked away after they were told they're gonna play on stream. Then they came back to me, and then I tried to explain the situation, but they like Leffen was like didn't want to listen. And then one of the pool captains came over and said Tio had told him that they just had to play off stream now because it was too late. Then Leffen was mad about it, so they go play off stream. Then later, same thing happens. They come back, and then this time I actually take down their information to put them in the queue. I put them in the queue, and I tell them, okay, now go to the area behind the stage, which is the waiting area. You'll be put on stage, and that's how that'll go. And then so Leffen and Ice go back there, and they sit down. Their opponents are sitting down, and they're just kind of waiting. And then Leffen's like, okay, let's play. And then the stage manager's like, you have to wait for this other match to end. He goes, no, I'm sick. I'm done waiting. I either play now or I don't play. And he's just being a super big diva about it. So he played his winners finals team stuff off stream because he 2 times Tio told him that he was going to play on stream, and then he didn't play, and he wanted to play immediately because sitting and by the way, the waiting area had a bunch of TVs so people could practice and stay warmed up for both games. And he just decided, no, why would I do that? Because he's just like, I'm a top player, and when I want to play, I play. So I don't know. He's just being really frustrating to work with, and that just kind of was like, I knew Leffen like had this persona online, but that was too much. Like he didn't even want to listen. Then when he came over for singles, I had to explain to him again the system. And then like Ice was cool. Ice was like, okay, I get it. That's fine, perfect. But Leffen said no, and Leffen just said, "How many sets till I play?" And I said 2, and then he goes, "Cool," and he disappeared. And then when it came time for him to play on stream, we had to call for him for like 5 minutes before he showed up. And I was just like, "Yeah, this is why we have this system, so that there's not a 5-minute break for no reason." But whatever. It worked out at the end of the day. And, Mitsu King bodied Leffen, and that's all I care about at that point. It was sick. So that was fun. That was definitely a lot of fun. Oh, man. Also got to meet, I just noticed that Cyrox's name was I got to meet Cyrox. Cyrox is cool, dude. He's such a cool dude. He's reminds me of Ark. Like, he's just, super unassuming, super nice, just super happy to be there kind of guy. He was sick. Shinobi, I got to meet Shinobi for the first time. I got to meet a lot of the big regional names, which I have never met. Got to see Bobby Frizz again, who's a good friend of mine. It was cool. It was tons of fun. Yeah. But I guess it's gonna be a good segue to talk about the 2017 stuff. So, let me see how I can sum it up. I think the best way I can sum it up, starting, is with this, and it's that I want to kind of restructure a lot of stuff for both Melee and Wii U and Oklahoma going into 2017. I think we've noticed we've had a dip in attendance with a lot of the weeklies and stuff. And I mean, I'm not gonna point fingers, but me and Irish used to TO those, and they used to have different attendance numbers, and it's kind of gone down. When me and Irish kind of stepped down, or has both kind of stepped away from doing that stuff from weeklies. Irish has moved now. Irish is gone, so rip Irish. He's in Kansas now, until he moves to Colorado in 6 months. And then I live in Tulsa, so I'm not going to be running metro area weeklies, and that's kind of where the biggest issues are, is the metro area. Tulsa scene seems to be doing fine on both ends, both weeklies, so I'm not really going to talk about them. They're doing okay. But when it comes down to it, there just seems to be a massive dip in just attendance in general. And I get the school year stuff, definitely the school year stuff, but this is a trend that's been kind of happening. It seems kind of severe because it's not just school people who stopped, it's just people who just straight up just stopped. Or people who just went from attending everything. It's just attending like one thing. It's just weird. And the scenes in the metro area seem way too separate for how big they are. Like the Tulsa scene's kind of big. It's like the only event is TSO, but like the metro scene has so many events that it kind of feels like it killed the scene with too much stuff going on. So I definitely am working. I mean, I'm not like working, but like looking for a restructure of everything. So for Melee in the metro area, I've already discussed this with some of the TOs, and this seems to be all good. But uh, Sooner and Hookshot are two like weeklies that happen that are on university campuses, and one's in Edmond, one's in Norman, and that's pretty good. Um, they get solid attendance. What the plan is that so Sooner is free every other week, and Hookshot's free always. Plan is to have Sooner be free on the weeks where Hookshot is paid, and have Hookshot be paid on the weeks that Sooner is free, and kind of alternate. So when it comes down to it, if you're a player who's wanting to improve a lot and play good players and make a little bit of cash, you can prioritize the weeks where the event is paid and travel more to each city because you want to get more money, get more experience. But if you're more of a casual player and you only want to go to the one, I mean, you're only paying $5 every other week, which isn't that bad overall. Um, so that seems like it'd be a good start. Just kind of getting things on track. And I mean, like as always, setups. Like people just don't bring setups, which slow everything down. But I think in like the last 2 months, both of these events TOs have learned a really good way to work around it and schedule properly and have events and end on at a reasonable time. So I'm really impressed with that. So good job to Flashy Fire and Dr. Bees for making those adjustments. Because the events seem to be turning out like ending at like reasonable times, even though setup accounts are low. So good job on them. I know the entrant count isn't super high either, but it's just a start. We have to get the ball rolling. And then now there's like the thing on Saturdays at DZ. There's gonna be melee alongside PM, so that's an alternative for those of you who can't make either day and can only make a weekend event. It's a Saturday, which is kind of rough for a lot of people I know. But even if you make it out, like I feel like there's gonna be consistent entrance. And if there's a bigger event, it's not gonna have that many entrants, but you're just gonna have to just go to the bigger event because you're already planning around the Saturday. So it's not the worst. I mean, personally, I don't think it's ideal, but the PM Metro crew was putting this on, and they're putting the work in. So I think it'll be good. Their events for PM have been good, so this should be fine. Like their weeklies run well. So I imagine this will be nice for everybody. And there's a lot of PM players who want to play melee as well. I know there are a few melee players who are interested in playing PM. So like it helps everybody. So that's cool for those guys. Congratulations, you get to have the best of both worlds. Hopefully, and I'm sure that the TOs will do a great job in making sure one doesn't really bleed into the other too hard and make stuff take forever. So there's that. Um, that's kind of where I have melee at. I think that's pretty much where the melee metro is going to be. I know UCO is still planning on having a monthly event. So that's with 025 and Josnif. Josnif is basically no longer a player and doesn't really plan on competing, but he's going to get into the TO games. So that's cool. Because 025 this is his last semester, so he's going to be really busy. So Josnif and 025 teaming up to take some stuff down and get some good events running for us to use. And I really think we need to focus on rebuilding melee in the metro before I go out of my way and make a really really big event. Because I know there's players, but I think if I had an event in February, the scene wouldn't be super strong as far as attendance goes or caring. So I think it'd be kind of rough for me to run that kind of an event and expect people to show up. So I'm just gonna let that one go for now. That's another thing I really learned with UGC is like running two games and wanting to run them at a very like having them at a decently large scale side by side. You can't do it on your own, and you need to have somebody else to do one game and you do the other, which is cool. Uh, but then you lose a lot in how you want things done, or you stall them because the other person wants to make sure to clear things with you. And that's kind of what we had at GFC, where JD fucking did a fantastically amazing job, like amazing, and he's checking in with me a lot. But that was still stressful for both of us, and we're still under like a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. And although we got done for most part reasonably well, like reasonably on time and stuff, which is huge in part to JD just being super organized, we it took so much out of us, and that was only like the entry count for that wasn't even high. It was like 60 for Wii U and like 30 for Melee. That's not a super high entry count, and that was that made us feel awful. Like we put in so much work and we were tired and like had everything taken out of us. And JD straight up left as soon as his part was done. As soon as Pools was done, he's like, "Do you need anything from me?" And I said, "No, you can chill." And he goes, "I'm gonna go home." And he like fell asleep. He like passed out. I was like, "Dang!" Like, oof. Like, shouts to him. He did a whole amazing job that day. Um, that's just kind of stuff that people have to deal with, you know. And I think I really am just gonna run single game events from now on. Uh, because multi game events, even two is seemed manageable, and on like the monthly state scale, like cruise and stuff, that's gonna stay 2 games. But if I want to run a regional, I'm gonna run a single game because then I can always have a 1 day regional, which is ideal for me. I don't have to take care of as many things if it's a 1 day regional. I can have a reasonably high cap for entrance, which makes it more desirable, and then I kind of get to know, I kind of know what to expect on my end. So definitely having some adjustments made, and I think what's gonna happen now is March 2017 is gonna be the like choose your character right now is let's just pretend it didn't it's just not in existence. March 2017 is gonna be a Wii U regional, and that's gonna either be named choose your character or something else, and then the melee one will be named like one of the two games gets the name. I just haven't really figured out which one because I really don't. The name's not really important. I'm being 100% honest. Like the name can be whatever as long as it's not stupid. So we'll get there and we'll figure that out. But March 2017, probably the week after spring break, the weekend after spring break. Um, that's gonna be my event. It's gonna be a 1 day, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's exciting. That's gonna be Wii U, and then Melee. I'm probably gonna do in like April. Um, but I don't know what exactly. And the beauty of that is that I get to put focus and dedicate 100% of resources to one game, which is really what I care about. Because if I can put 100% of my resources into one game, into one community, then I can get stuff done way more easily. And then I kind of know how much I can spend slash offer to people. Because I know I don't have a random thing with one. Yeah, it lets me focus and just give better quality for both events. So that's kind of what I'm looking at personally for 2017. Cruise is going to be in February. Cruise 4 is going to be in February. So mark your calendars for that. Same rooms, same layout. Ideally, everything's going to be very similar to the last time. So mark your calendars. Well, actually, might do it at OU. We'll see. Well, it's not really a big deal, honestly. We'll figure it out. Like, it's not. That's not a huge priority on my list right now. January has a lot of stuff coming up, so be ready. I'm thinking first week of January is when the Tulsa Arcadian is happening. Then second or third week of January, right? Probably the weekend as soon as second semester starts. That is going to be um, doing the math. I think we're talking like the 14th. Yeah, probably like the 14th. I'm not saying this is 100% fact. Still working on it. Probably like January 14th will be the second Arcadian. That'll happen in January because like both two areas want to do Arcadians. I'm not gonna say no. That's fine. It's not a big deal. So those two things are gonna happen. These are all Wii U events. Melee Arcadian is gonna happen also in January, I believe. That's with 025 and Joseph. They're gonna figure that out. And there's like a bar tourney thing that's happening in I think on the 15th in Oklahoma City. You have to be 21 and older to play. Yeah, what's the word? Yeah, you have to be 21 or older to enter. It's Wii U, and it's like $5, and the winner gets like the new cool NES console thing, which is really sick. It's like the 50 NES games and like one or 30 NES games and like a console that's HDMI that they just made. So that's really cool. So that's kind of how we have that all sorted out for January. And we had King of the Springs for Melee, Wii U, and PM in Arkansas in February, first weekend in February, February 4th. Only one day. I don't know how they're going to run it in only one day, but they said it's only one day, and it's in Hot Springs, Arkansas, so feel free to set that up and get carpools ready for that, because that's going to be fun. Sign up before the 1st of January, or else venue is going to go up. So I will be spamming and linking that all over the place, since that's the next big event that is near us, so that's going to be fun. So let's take that and get that taken care of. I know I already have a carpool for it. I'm going to be spending a lot of my time in the actual hot springs because that sounds sick. Because they actually have real hot springs there, so if you do want to go, plan to do an overnight just so you can experience and enjoy like the whole thing. So it'd be a waste not to. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I guess I can go back to the Wii U stuff because I already explained what I want to do for Melee and the Metro. Wii U and the Metro is in a similar boat, and really what I'm similar thing. Sooners for going to actually be only paid every other week, which is what it should have been originally. It's how you build the Sooner community. So yeah, the Sooners be paid every other week, followed by and then on off weeks, ideally. Still working on this. Haven't got anything confirmed, but ideally, Eruption will be paid every other week $5. So Eruption already has like 18 entrants a week. So for every 2 weeks they paid $5 to play not just the same people every week, I think a decent number of the normal crowd at Eruption and Edmond would be down. So that's the goal. If you go to that event, I'd love some feedback. If you're watching right now, hit me with some feedback because that would be super tight. I'm very interested in hearing opinions and thoughts about this. It's something I really think would help. And I'm going to be 100% honest, and this is just personal opinion, but DZ and RTZ, those two weeklies, just kind of both barely get entrance right now. But like DZ gets slightly more right now. RTZ's gonna, and then I don't know. So I really would like. I don't want to like screw one business out over the other, but like it would be nice if I could get at least some confirmation on why you go to one over the other, why you don't go to either, why you won't go to one at all, but there's like some feedback about what it is about each venue, each tournament that you like. And let's see if we can kind of get that all rolled into one instead. Because I feel like that is kind of detracting from both sides. Because that's $10 instead of the 5, like the college tourneys are. So it's not exactly everyone's favorite. And I kind of want to convince, and this is also going to sound weird, but this is also kind of selfish, convince the sooner interruption people to not do doubles. It's like just to kind of give incentive to go to the other events just for doubles, but that's not going to happen. So, whatever. It's not a big deal. Just kind of spitballing here. Um, yeah. I think that's everything I kind of really had pre-planned. I can do some Q&A for the next few minutes before I shut down. So I'm down to just any questions you have, any comments, any concerns. We can definitely talk about that. Yeah. Oh, I guess there's one other thing. This is specifically for Wii U. I would need to look at some more stuff for Melee, but Wii U, the new PR should be coming out pretty much at the beginning of the new year, which is cool. And I kind of want feedback on whether or not you guys want to re-vote for panel, or use the same panel. And I mean, I took down this post because it was causing a lot of drama, but like, I'll be really honest. The vote we had for panel and stuff like that was kind of messed up because it was a Facebook poll, but stuff, right? And that's cool. Like that's whatever. But a lot of people who are in the Facebook page, I mean, I could tell who was an out of stater and who wasn't. So I removed out of stater votes from counting. But there were a lot of people who aren't even in our community who were voting for people because they knew who they were. And I feel like that's something that I want to avoid. I don't want people who aren't active community members voting. And I know I do this all the time on the PM page. It's just a trolley thing because I think it's kind of funny. But I know like everyone knows to discount my vote. But it's really hard for other people to differentiate that if they haven't been in the city in a long time and they don't know who certain people are. So I really don't want to have to make adjusted values on a revote and be like, oh, you did get 10 more votes than this guy, but you had 12 votes from players that aren't active community members. You know, because like you can't really, you know, what is activity? You know, some people actually came back from the grave to vote for people too, which is kind of funny. So like, shouts to Pajon, came back from the grave just to vote for Jesus. That was really dumb, dude. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask if people would like a revote, which I personally would. I'm gonna be very honest about that. I really definitely like a revote on the panels, and then I'm going to do the polls at two weeklies. I'm going to do the week of Christmas Eve and stuff like that. I will have voting sheets at that TSO on Wednesday, as well as the Sonic Storm on that Friday. So, boom. We're definitely gonna get to do the polls there and do them in person. That's how you kind of show that you care because you made a conscious effort to be at the event. If you go to both events, you don't get two votes. I will remember you. So, if that's your sneaky plan, it's not gonna work. Um, yeah. So that's that. All right, cool. I got that out of the way. Now I guess I'll go ahead and read some questions. Do the polls of the attorneys. New son, you read my mind. Good job. Will you three stock meta? Oh, so okay. So Johan, I want to be real. The three stock meta, the three stock meta was supposed to have already happened, and it was supposed to straight up still be in like. It was supposed to, because I figured by now, enough top players would talk about wanting three stock, to where we would actually have the discussion still open. But I didn't get I missed the read. I tried for go for the read and it wasn't there. Pretty much everyone's comfortable with two stock. Um, and Smash on the Switch is coming out, which is I know it's just a remastered version of Wii U, but if there is a patch, maybe there's three stock possibilities there, but I really doubt it. So I think we're just gonna stick with two stock until it really becomes apparent that the national standard might change. The only place that does three stock still is like Houston, and honestly, that's those events are like 10 hours from us. So I mean, with stops and stuff, they're not really, but like overall, it's like 6 to 8. So that will that'll be figured out. I'm not really too worried. We're probably just gonna stick with two stock for now. What was the old panel? It was myself, Muse, Johan, Lorenzo, and Dr. Bell Pepper. So I think a re-vote is kind of in order. Personally, um, I don't know. Some people have really. Here's my thing. I don't like panels that have super duper opinionated people on it, especially super opinionated people who are also in contention for the PR, if that makes sense. I like people who are more objective, and I think that, and also attend a lot of events. So I think personally, I would like a revote from people in person to see how they felt about a new panel instead. All right, new melee PR win. That is something I kind of need to talk to some other people about for the melee PR because I'm not. I'm kind of like, I guess, de facto leader for Wii U PR just because I've been on it every single time and just talking to people. Um, you just kind of like usually lead discussion because I have the data, but melee PR was different. So I need to talk to some people about melee PR. Oh yeah. Okay. Have any plans to spread Smash to more rural parts of Oklahoma? Uh, hmm, not really much I can do besides offer advice, I guess, for those situations. I can't put events in weird parts of Oklahoma mostly because other people won't come. You know, like it wouldn't fix anything. The best I can do is help promote any events that the people in the rural parts of Oklahoma decide to run, and just kind of like help them by talking to people. Like just kind of like give them advice on how to run an event, how to advertise, and all that stuff, and help them with that. That's the best I can do for rural Oklahoma. If there's anything more I could do, like anything you want to ask me, PM me. That's fine. I don't really care. We can talk about it like all you want. But I don't have any specific plans for helping that part. Um, no, I don't think Drew. I straight up don't think you should be on the panel because you don't go to anything. Like you can say you're a spectator, but like I still don't think you should go to any because you don't go to anything, and I don't think you actually watch the matches intently anymore. Boom, shots. Um, yeah, Shiny, you have really strong opinions, and you're on contention for the PR. See, you're kind of a primo example of someone I would want solely because it's hard for people to reason with you, I guess, because when you kind of make your mind up on something, you don't really change your mind, and that's not the kind of people that need to be on a PR. People who can look at data and listen to like well thought out arguments are kind of what I want. Because I've had my opinion changed like several times from those kind of situations. So I know like other people can too because I've talked to other people about it, and I know who I would like on the panel and who I wouldn't like on the panel. But that's not my decision; it's a community decision. So we'll like get there. What happened to the Lawton scene? Oof. So like the Lawton scene thing, I actually really don't know. Lawton Melee didn't really have a scene at all, and then Lawton Wii U had a scene, but it was run really poorly, and the events sucked because I went to one, and the venue sucked, and the organizers sucked, and yeah, it was bad. It was super bad, like completely awful. So yeah, exactly. Just awful, super awful. So I think it just kind of petered out because I don't think that business could have self-sustained the way it was going. So if you want to start a lot in the scene, you can just let me know and I'll help you. Like I can't physically be out there and doing it, but I can give you advice on how to get that stuff done. So to start, really, that's honestly the best I can do for most people is just help them start up and answer questions. So yeah, yeah. Anything else? So I really don't mind to answer any more questions. It's kind of late, but I don't have anything specific I need to be doing tomorrow. I don't think. I should double check actually. Help you make NSU scene better. I think NSU scene is getting better. Like honestly, like Proxy won on Thursday. He's improving. Like who are androids? Mega Man isn't super free anymore. It's not like super duper amazing, but it's improving by really quickly and stuff. So um, yeah, I think literally what's coming down to is the people who care more in NSU are showing up, and the people who don't care as much are showing up too. And that's fine. You don't have to worry if you have the same people who show up not caring and trying. You just really only need a small number of people to try, and that's enough to push people. As long as you still have fun, then your scene will just keep getting bigger over the years. There are not any groups trying to go to Genesis 4. Astro Pancakes is 100% going to Genesis 4. If you're interested in going with him, hit him up. Um, how many people on the panel? Same as last time. Yeah, five is fine. Five was good. Balanced out opinions. Well, like not opinions. But five was you need an odd number. You always need an odd number so you don't have ties. Oh, yeah, that's mostly it. Yeah, you need an odd number to just not have ties. That's the best I could really come up with there. How could you incentivize people, Tulsa people, to come to NSU? I'll be honest. I don't think having it on Tuesday is a good idea. I think Smash 4 would be better on Thursday and Melee on Tuesday, but that's you guys. That's your call. I really don't care. Um, I don't really know. Just like, say if the Tulsa, like if a Tulsa player comes and they win the tournament, just say you'll pay for their gas or something. I don't know. That should be enough. Because at that point, like, because generally the truck's not gonna come. Like, yeah, like Chuck's not gonna come. Um, Muse probably won't come because it's free. The people who do end up coming are gonna be people who are like more reasonably skilled. And Shiny's a child, Zerge is a child. Like they can't go, so it's not gonna be anyone who's like super good PR players are gonna be coming. You really just gotta incentivize the people who are like in the middle of the pack because they're the ones you kind of get the most out of practicing with and playing instant tournament right now for your guys' skill level. And if it's like, hey, if you win, you don't have your gas was paid for, then people would come because it's just a thing that you can do, burn some time, have a good time. It's not the worst drive in the world, so there is that. Um, I don't really know what you mean by that, Zach, but you can message me about it later, and we can kind of talk about that. Tuesday lets us practice before Dragon Slayer. That's fair, but Tuesday's also the same day that Stillwater and Norman do their stuff, and Norman's 2 hours out, so that's not a huge deal. But Stillwater's kind of close, and I really like going to Stillwater and Tahlequah stuff. Like, I don't particularly like having to choose. But that being said, I'm gonna have more classes and stuff to take care of. So yeah, I don't really know if I'll be going to any of those to begin with, but I don't know. It should be fine. It should work out. I wouldn't be too worried. I probably won't be coming either way, so yeah. Not really. You shouldn't really be too worried about it, being honest. All right. It doesn't also do melee on Thursdays. No, that's the Tahlequah thing. Also, players go to that. So yeah. Yeah, Tulsa official melee is on Sunday. Who's the best player who attends Nara weeklies nowadays? Quist. Problem is that Quist is actually leaving next semester. Like he's doing a semester abroad, so Quist won't even be around next semester. So people should really go to sooner, so that it keeps really going. Norman's straight up the worst miss like melee city now. It's like not even a contest. It's like obviously Norman's the worst. All the good players retired or moved. That's pretty bad, but it's all good. Like Nora will be back someday. But yeah, right now it's kind of bad. So there you go. I think that I'm done with the stream now. This is a super long video, and guess what? I'm probably not gonna timestamp it because I'm lazy. But if you have literally a bunch of time, people can just listen to it. I get that, GG. I really do get that. And I think a big part of what we could do is kind of get a more definitive doubles schedule. So, this is what I was thinking, honestly. because this is kind of cool, right? So, okay. On the paid weeks, you have free doubles. Like, I think that'd be ideal. So, free weeks, you have a ton of entrants because it's free. Paid weeks, you have lower entrant count. But if you have doubles, you'll get maybe the same entrant count because people go, I'm gonna go, but I can't, and I'm not gonna pay $5. I'm not gonna spend money, but I can enter doubles for free, and then leave whenever people do a paid bracket, and then that's fine. So I think that's a good way to plan that. That's something I gotta really talk to Brennan about though. For melee specifically, I think we will figure its own stuff out. They usually do. Um, I don't know. I think it's a decent idea, and I would like to get some feedback from Brennan about the idea. So we'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see. Definitely want to know what he thinks about it before I promise anything. Yeah. Um, that's it. I think that's it actually. So, all right, hour 40 minutes. I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing on Saturdays at DZ. But to be fair, and I'm gonna be really honest with you, GG. There's like, on average for paid doubles, there's 4 teams. and it's like $2 entry. So, or $2 or $3. So at best, you're making like $12 if you're really, really fucking lucky. And like, like who cares? It's like $12, and you have to like split the $12 too. That's the other part. It's like you're not even needing to keep the whole 12. Actually, you usually make like 9. And yeah, it's not how it used to be, but it's how it is now, and you gotta like work around that, you know? Like you can't stick to the idea of, man, the old days were so much better. Why can't we just have everything be the same? Because like that's just not how it's gonna go down. If you want Melee to stay afloat and like grow, you have to adapt to the situations you put in. And like the situation in Oklahoma is that a lot of players don't have excess cash, so you have to make stuff more accessible. And that's life. So if you really want to do paid doubles, there's the thing on Sunday in Tulsa. There's probably going to be paid doubles at DZ, and I really wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't. I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing there would be. And if there wasn't, I'm guessing you could work that in. It shouldn't be a huge, huge issue. So yeah, this is all about just figuring it out and doing the work. So I wouldn't be worried. Everything's gonna be fine. But right now, if you had less paid doubles, then more people would enter, more people would enjoy doubles, and then when you have bigger events where there's paid doubles, people will enter. And that's where the real money is in it, anyways. So, like, it's about growing the community so that when you have bigger events, people actually enter. That's where I think people kind of drop the ball, you know? But yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. There's my 2 cents. As much as I don't like dealing with PM stuff, I mean, the PM community kind of proved my point. They don't like dwell on the past as much at all, really, at all, actually. And it's kind of focused on growing their new community, and they're doing really well. So that's really where the focus needs to be. Getting caught up on what used to be is bad. So yeah, and I think with that, it's time to end stream and kind of chill because I need to get to bed. I think I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Now that I think about it, I think I do have something to do. And my friend wanted to get lunch with me. So what the crap? Clay Thompson scored 454 points in a game. That's actually insane. So that was to Clay Thompson for the Colton State Warriors. Dang, what a beast. That dude's crazy. I bet most of them were 3 pointers too. The way that dude plays. That's insane. Alright, well, it's been a real stream. Uh More updates to come. I'll probably post ELO tomorrow because I'm really tired. But I might do it tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling in like 15 minutes. Which is, for some of you, still this technically tomorrow. So yeah, but ELO should be updated in the next 24 hours sometime. Good night, guys. Enjoy. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, message me. Later.